friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any key concepts have come in the editorial, then we also discuss that. So let's begin today's editorial analysis. We have taken today's editorial from The Hindu and it has appeared on 22nd of May. The title of the editorial is Keeping the Peace. And it says that India and China must end tensions on the border by clarifying the line of actual control, also known as LAC. Now let us link it to the UPSC syllabus. We find that it directly links with GS paper 2, where we have international relations. And under this we have India and its neighborhood relations. After establishing this linkage with the syllabus, now let's look at the key points. Before starting the discussion, let us look at the border between India and China, which is classified into three sectors: the western sector, the central sector, and the eastern sector. So here we have the Karakoram Pass, and a very strategic post that India has, which is in the news, is located to the south of this Karakoram Pass, which is known as Daulat Beg Oldie. And here India has one of the world's highest airstrip at almost around 16,000 feet height. And China is also upset because recently India has been able to make a border road from Leh connecting to Daulat Beg Oldie. So this road is very strategically important from India's point of view, and China is upset that India is building infrastructure on its side, whereas China has built enormous infrastructure on its side of the border, but it is objecting when India is trying to do the same and within its own territory. And this road runs along the Shyok River. The other point of conflict over the last few days has been an area called Nakula. This is different from Nathula, which is also in Sikkim, and Sikkim has three important passes. One is the Nathula, other is Nakula, and then we also have this Jalepla Pass. So this is also important from prelims point of view. And the border with Arunachal Pradesh, this is known as the McMahon line. The rest of the border that India is sharing with China, it is known as the line of actual control. So these are the important aspects that we must take note of before we begin today's editorial analysis. So the editorial begins by saying that India and China must end tensions on the border by clarifying the line of actual control. And it says that with 4 incidents along the line of actual control in recent weeks, the India-China border is witnessing the highest tensions since the Doklam standoff in 2017. And here we should know about Doklam standoff. And it was a 73 days standoff between India and China, which was finally resolved through diplomatic channels between India and China. And then we have had 2 informal summits between India and China, one in Wuhan and the other in Chennai. In Wuhan, we came up with the Wuhan spirit, and in Chennai, it was the Chennai Connect. India-China relations have been kind of a roller coaster, but before this recent flare-up, it was being assumed that the relations, at least from the border dispute point of view, are relatively stable. But over the last few days, it has again flared up. And since the Doklam standoff, both sides have done remarkably well to keep the peace, and Prime Minister Modi as well as President Xi both agreed that differences should not be allowed to escalate into disputes. So this is the important phrase, that both countries have decided that they will not allow their differences to escalate into disputes, and you can use it for mains answer writing. Also, a clear message was sent to the two militaries to abide by the detailed protocols already in place, such as those agreed in 2005 and 2013. So generally in border areas, the militaries have established protocols to resolve minor disputes and issues that arise from the two armies facing each other. So here we have things like flag meetings, then we have hotlines to resolve any dispute and not to let them escalate into a major conflict. So these protocols, they regulate the activities of troops in the contested zones that lie in between both sides overlapping claim lines of the undefined LAC. And this undefined nature of line of actual control is the major issue, because no side is clear as to where the border lies and there are overlapping claims. While the Indian side has been trying to cool the temperature, the Chinese side has been raising the issue, and on May 19th, its foreign ministry accused the Indian army of attempting to unilaterally change the status of the line of actual control, which is a major accusation which the Indian side has denied, that whatever activities have been done by the Indian army, they are on the Indian side of the border. Further, the editorial talks about the standoff in Ladakh, and it says that the standoff appears to have been triggered by China moving in troops to obstruct road construction activity by India. And here, as we saw in the map, that last year India has completed this Darbuk Shiok Daulat Beg Oldi road, which connects Leh to the Karakoram Pass. So this is a very important and strategic road for India. And while China has built good infrastructure on its side of the border, the Indian side had not much infrastructure. And now India is also trying to play catch up with China, which the Chinese side is obviously not happy about. So India also maintains a key landing strip at Daulat Beg Oldi at 16,000 feet, which is also known as a advanced landing ground. And this advanced landing ground in Daulat Beg Oldi gives India great leverage to move troops as and when it wants. The broader context for the tensions is the changing dynamic along the line of actual control. And India has been upgrading its roads as it plays catch up with China, which is already enjoying an advantage in both terrain and infrastructure. And the editorial rightly argues that India is well within its rights to carry out the construction work, and India also needs to remind Beijing that a fundamental principle that underpins all previous agreements is recognizing the right to mutual and equal security of the two sides. So the editorial makes the point that it is high time that India should call off the Chinese bluff, and India should not bow down to Chinese pressure. And here the Doklam resolution stands testimony to the fact that the Indian approach to border disputes and to international relations has changed, and India is not going to be submissive to the unfair demands made by China, or for that matter any other country, and India will act as per its strategic autonomy only. But at the same time, the immediate priority for both sides, that is India and China, should be to use existing channels and step back, as was done in the Doklam standoff. And because the flag meetings between the brigade commanders have so far been unable to break the stalemate, maybe it is time for the higher diplomacy to resolve the issue. And both India and China should grasp the current situation as an opportunity to revive the stalled process of clarifying the LAC. This is a very unfortunate situation that line of actual control or the border between India and China remains unsettled, and both the countries are big powers, and China has resolved its border issues with 12 of the 14 countries with which it had outstanding border issues. And India has also made some progress, like what India has done with Bangladesh with the land border agreement. And even if the borders continue to remain disputed, at least the line of actual control needs to be clarified so that both Indian and Chinese troops on the border know that where they need to be, and these kind of flare-ups in the border do not take place. And this is more important because both the countries are nuclear weapon states. China has been resisting this clarification of line of actual control as a distraction to the boundary negotiations. And the editorial suggests that even if it is difficult to agree on a line, both sides can simply seek to better understand the claims of the other and reach a common understanding to regulate activity in these areas. So at least the soldiers do not engage in any kind of confrontation while guarding their respective borders. And at the same time, maybe this process of clarifying the line of actual control, it may also lead to a fresh impetus to the stalled boundary talks between the special representatives of the two countries. Finally, the editorial says that beyond the posturing, both countries know that a final settlement will ultimately have to use the line of actual control as a basis with only minor adjustments. And it is also very obvious that only a settlement will end the shadow boxing that keeps on taking place in the line of actual control, which is highly contested by both the sides. And finally, editorial says that with both the countries in the middle of an unprecedented global pandemic, it is high time to push for a settlement to a distracting and a very long drawn dispute. So the supreme authorities in both India and China, they need to take this call that maybe it is high time to fast track the boundary negotiations and at least clarify the line of actual control so that the troops of both sides do not engage in such confrontation which can escalate very fast. So that needs to be avoided. So these were all the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at the key concepts. In concepts to learn, let us look at the India-China border issue. So we should have a clear idea that India has 15,106.7 km of land border and a coastline of 7,516.6 kilometers. These facts are important from prelims point of view. And a very common question that is asked in competitive exams, including in UPSC, is about the length of the borders which India shares with its neighboring countries. Contrary to popular perception, it is not China but Bangladesh which is at number 1, with which India shares the longest land border, so 4096 kilometers. And China is at the second number, with which it has around 3488 kilometers of border. And the unfortunate part is that almost all of it is disputed. And at third number comes Pakistan with 3323 kilometers, then Nepal with 1751 kilometers, and then Myanmar with 1643 kilometers, and then Bhutan and Afghanistan. This is little bit disputed because the area which is bordering Afghanistan is now under the illegal occupation of Pakistan. So with China, we see that 4 states of India, that is Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, and the Union Territory of Ladakh, they share a border with China. So we have 4 states and 1 UT sharing border with China. And the Sino-Indian border, as we saw in the map earlier, is divided into 3 sectors: Western, Middle and Eastern sector. In the Western sector, India shares about 2152 km long border with China, and it is between the Union Territory of Ladakh and Xinjiang province of China. And this is the province of China where they are facing the issue of Uyghur Muslims, and this is a restive province of China. And through this province only, China is making that road which connects it to the China-Pakistan economic corridor. So in this western sector, there is a territorial dispute over the Aksai Chin region. India claims it as part of erstwhile Kashmir, while China claims it as part of Xinjiang. And the dispute can be traced back to the failure of the British Empire to demarcate a legal border between China and its Indian colony. And during the time of British rule in India, 2 borders between India and China were proposed. One was the Johnson's Line and the other was the Macdonald Line. And the Johnson's Line, proposed in 1865, it shows Aksai Chin in erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir, which is now Ladakh, and under India's control, whereas Macdonald Line, proposed in 1893, placed it under China's control. And that is the reason why there is not much clarity about the border, because the 2 lines proposed by British are not agreeing on the border. One is showing Aksai Chin to be part of Jammu and Kashmir, while the other is showing it to be part of China. And India considers Johnson Line as correct and the rightful national border with China, while on the other hand, China considers the Macdonald Line as the correct one. So both countries are looking at their self-interest, and rightly so. But at present, the line of actual control is the line separating Indian areas of Ladakh from Aksai Chin, and it is concurrent with the Chinese Aksai Chin claim line. And this line of actual control, it came into being after this 1962 war. Now in the middle sector, India shares about 625 km long boundary line with China, which runs along the watershed from Ladakh to Nepal. And Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand touch this border with Tibet, which is a part of China now. And both sides do not have much disagreement over the border in this area. So this is relatively peaceful. Now let's look at the eastern sector. Here India shares a 1140 km long boundary line with China. It runs from the eastern limit of Bhutan to a point near the Talu Pass at the tri-junction of Tibet, India and Myanmar. And this boundary line is called the McMahon Line. China again considers the McMahon Line to be illegal, and now it claims whole of Arunachal Pradesh to be part of China, and that is why it issues staple visas to the people of Arunachal Pradesh if they want to visit China, and does not issue them proper visa, which is issued to rest of the Indian nationals, claiming that Arunachal Pradesh is a disputed territory and a part of China, which India keeps on protesting, but China keeps doing it. And this McMahon Line came into being in 1914, where the Tibetan representatives and the British, they held a convention in Shimla which delineated the McMahon Line on the map, And China disputes this line because it says that the Tibetan authorities, which signed this convention with the British, had no right to do that because Tibet is a part of China. So, this was all in today's editorial analysis. Now, let us look at the kind of questions that can be asked in PT and mains related to this editorial. So, in PT, one can be asked about the various geographical locations that have been coming in the news. For example, one can be asked about Nakula, where it is placed. Then, similarly, one can be asked about the location of Daulat Beg Oldie. Some other geographical locations are also in news, so one should be aware about that. Then a question can be on the McMahon line also, about its historical aspects and also about the line of actual control. Whereas in mains, one can be asked about the India-China border issue. And here one should be ready with both the historical as well as the present update. And here we should also be aware about the latest informal summits between India and China, which were held in Wuhan and Chennai, and it led to the Wuhan Spirit and the Chennai Connect. These can also be asked. So on all these areas one should be prepared. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.